Okay, so this is Quickbread. It's just half all-purpose, half bread flour,
sticky
oil, vegetable oil, salt, yeast, and sugar. Yours is still sticky, buddy. You really need to get some more flour in there. There you go. And so remember, we press. What do we do after we press the first time?
We push it down and fold it over.
Fold it over, yep.
So we fold it over.
Mm-hmm.
And then you push it down.
Very good. And we do that in what? Half turns?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, maybe, I don't know.
Or
You never told us.
quarter. I most certainly did. Quarter turns, right?
No, we push it down.
Push it down, fold it, quarter turn.
Fold it, then quarter turn. Push it down.
Fold it, quarter turn, and then do it again. How are you doing, Rory?
I'm washing it in my hands so it doesn't stick to my hands. That was my idea.
You're washing your hands in flour?
Yeah, so it doesn't stick.
Okay.
Isn't that a good idea to me? So now it won't stick to me. Sticky over here.
Remember you used your palm, right? There you go. Okay, so we're going to take this big hunk of dough then
And put it in.
and just put it all together. Not that. I just want a big hunk of dough.
Can I have a bite of it when you're done?
What? Can I try this? Can I try some of this
I
stuff?
don't think you're going to like it.
It's just flour.
So this is the Vevor oven. Outdoor camping oven. There's no branding on the front. On the top you have a burner. You have two sections for your butane. I will show another video when we update this for... I'm going to try to get a 20-pound propane tank on it. We'll see if we can do that with a converter. But we have one place for a propane tank up here, one place for a propane tank down here, and there it is, Vevor. And so you have the top burner, which I have not tested out yet, but it looks like most top burners, and it looks pretty durable as far as we can tell, right? Without slamming or crashing it, and we haven't used it yet. And so we have, this is going to be for your top burner, and we have, this timer has to be on. I'll show you what happens if it's not, if it goes off, but we set our time. It goes up to 60 minutes, but for bread, we're going to try to stick around 50. We're going to utilize this as though we are using this for our permanent oven in the case that our regular oven loses electricity and we have to use propane. So here we go. We have to hit the safety button. So you're going to be hitting the safety button, and you have to do this with two hands, but I'm just giving an example of if you were to do it. So you hit your safety button and then bring this over for your ignition. And you heard that, just like a regular grill. So the directions are to open it up. Inside I have my temperature gauge because I had to test the parameters to see what kind of heat we're going to get. Are we going to stay at 200 or are we going to go up to 600? And the highest I got was 400 on this. So I hooked it up. I got my, if nothing else for your grill, if you just have the standard, this is our probe. So we test with our main probe. And we can test it, plug it in here. All right, so we're going to test with our probe on the side. So we're going to press our button, and you hear our gas coming on. I'm going to turn it off. Okay, so I'm going to start our gas. If I turn off the button, then the whole thing is going to turn off. We got to keep that button held for 5 seconds. Then when you let go, you'll get a steady stream of gas. All right. For the knob, we're going to go high is going to be the highest you can go without it igniting again. And so what we discovered, and close that up. What we discovered is we get to about 400 on high. Now you might be able to go higher than that, but it's about 45 degrees out here in the sunroom. We're going to get some condensation inside. And of course you are going to drop pretty significantly if you leave that door open, but we'll go ahead and close this up. Now we will be getting a 12-inch by 10-inch pizza oven in here. This measures about 12 for the width, and I think it was probably safely about 10 for the length. Probably been about 7 minutes, if that, and we're already up to 341. Of course, you know the direct heat is going to give you direct heat, and that's why we need some sort of a brick or pizza oven in there so that we can moderate our heat better, because once we put something in there to cook, it is going to be unevenly distributed. But I like the promise here. I like the setup. All right, so this is as far as we can go without the propane attachment, which we have not gotten yet, or the pizza stove, but we're going to be trying some bread with it anyway. So we're going to bring our timer down, and I'm going to be bringing this all the way down to 0 in the off position. And here's what happens. And you get an extinguished flame. So I read that a butane canister on low might give you 4 hours, and then on a high, maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours. So we're going to test that. I've already tested it for about 45 minutes.
Don't put the camera in.
All right, so we have this bread that we made, and we've got it in a greased pan, and we're going to put it in the oven. All right, so we've got it. I had it up to 400, and right now the flame is going. And we'll give it just a little bit more flame to start off with, because we're going to open this up and put in our bread, which we probably should use. So we have our bread in there, and we're going to set it to 50 minutes and see what we look like at 50 minutes. All right, so we've got this is the receiver. The receiver I still have set at, I can't get it past that 160, which is set for meat. But we have 377, it got up to 400, and then we put our meat in, or our bread in. And so we've got the gas going on that. So we're going to keep the flame at like a trickle now and see if that'll be. Now when you turn this, you know you can be at low, but with gas you're either going to be getting low coming down from the low, or low coming down from the high. And so you can have it on low, but you're going to have, it's not going to be constant. But so we do have to look at our flame and make sure that our flame is adjusted well. But I am going to set the flame so that we have kind of like a trickle low, a steady low burner on here. For those of you who have gas ovens and stoves, I'm sure that you understand this. All right, so we're still at around 375. Probably about 15 minutes left. And we're going to lose some temperature, but the bread is coming along. Opening the oven door, we lose 360 from 375, so we lose about 15 degrees. Hopefully that'll get back up. Hold on. All right, so the oven just went off, and so let's see how quickly it drops. All right, so the timer just went off, and we are going to see what we got. All right. Nice and toasty in there, of course, right? And here is our bread that we made. All right, so there's the bread that just came out of our gas oven. All right, so here is the bread. Look at this. Look at that toasted bottom. That'll make good crust. And so I'm very happy with this. Being the first bread that we made from our gas stove, knowing that we can, I mean, of course we can make bread on a fireplace, but the stove makes it an easy option. Let's cut it up. So I don't know if you can see, but this is steamy. It's a good looking piece of bread. I think we should probably wait until it's all cooled off to cut it anymore, but I was really excited to cut it open and see what's inside of this. Hey guys, can you try this bread and tell me what you think?
Can you give me the pie?
Yeah.
No, so nice.
So that's the bread that you guys made.
What? No, you made it.
I don't think so. I think you guys put the ingredients together. I think this is fantastic. I think this is pretty amazing.
I'm still the breads of 10.
You could have a delicatessen bread. I understand that, but to make a bread in your kitchen and then cook it on a gas oven, that's pretty darn good. So this is the bread in the daylight. We had some breakage, which is okay for handmade bread. We will improve on that, but the crust is good. The crust is thick and delicious. You might just have to turn it to the side when you're cutting it so that you can get it cut through. Otherwise, not bad for our first homemade bread on the gas grill.